5:50 in the morning on Theta TV, and I'm broadcasting in Leander, Texas, and it is July 22nd, 2021. The year is over halfway through, and it has been an amazing year so far. And this is my crypto video blog, just to basically put it in simple terms, and this is my me following my crypto experience and just trying to document what I learn every single day in the crypto space. I love this stuff. Every single day there's something new to learn, and just when I think I'm starting to get caught up and start to know something else pops up. I'm like, really? And I gotta learn that too. But anyway, today is a special day. I have a special guest with the MetaGameHub DAO, one of the co-founders, Camilo Echeverri. And it's very, sorry, there's two R's in there. I got to roll that R. It's kind of hard for some Americans to do sometimes, but I do know enough Spanish to know how to roll my R's. But anyway, let's go over here. First of all, I did want to take a quick look at the CoinGecko chart. Look at this. We're in some green. Can you see here? So it may have been a bear trap that we were caught in. And I went over the definition of bear trap yesterday for the people like me who have no financial background before any of this crypto. And that's an amazing thing that crypto brings to the space, is it suddenly brings an awareness of money, finances, game theory, economics, sociology, psychology, philosophy, and everything that you can possibly think of. Crypto brings that to people and gives people a reason to study that stuff. And it has continued to give me a reason to study things every single day. And I came across MetaGameHub DAO here. And that brings the whole idea of the metaverse to light, and puts the metaverse in my thoughts and has me questioning what exactly is the metaverse. So this is I tried to describe what the metaverse was to my parents the other day, and it was a pretty interesting conversation. So here is Camilo Echeverri, and he is one of the co-founders of MetaGameHub DAO. And I appreciate you coming on my little small potatoes show, because I know you guys are garnering a lot of attention from a lot of bigger fish in the sea. So yeah, if you just want to go ahead and introduce yourself a little bit, tell me about your background and maybe what brought you into the crypto space, we can go ahead and get started.
Absolutely. John, thank you very much for having me here. I mean, it's a pleasure. And actually pretty cool that you wake up that early to do this. So that's awesome. Well, I mean, I'm Camilo. I'm the co-founder of MetaGameHub. I'm originally from Colombia, but have been living in Germany for about 6 years already. I did my studies here, so I have a financial background, a finance background. I also started working in the indexing industry. So we used to make equity indices, bond indices, and cryptocurrency indices. But I mean, there's a big problem with the current financial system. There are lots of frictions. There is lots of information asymmetries, and that pretty much I got very tired really quickly. And I actually got in contact with Bitcoin and Ethereum around 2016. Went through some ups and downs, the 2017 bull market, then the 2018, 2019 bear market. So I've been through a couple of stages in this market, but blockchain technology is just amazing. And this trustless aspect and transparent aspect of the technology is what really got me into it. And I was like, all right, let's escape the centralized world and try building something that, I mean, will make people profit, and not only like the big fishes, right? As we all know, that's how it's been done in the past. Only the few get to actually access and invest in different things, and now we want to change that. So as a community, we pretty much profit from that. That's like the whole spirit of blockchain, in my opinion. So yeah, that's a little bit about my background.
Yeah, it is like the democratization of investment tools, and I'm not an accredited investor for sure. I work my 8 to 5 job, and there's no way that I could just walk into some kind of investment firm and be able to throw my weight around and say, "Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and buy a bunch of land, and you're going to take me seriously," But the blockchain aspect allows people like us to do that, and so it's especially with this metaverse and the NFT space happening right now. It's allowing anybody to jump in who is willing to just learn a little bit about it. So With that said, let's talk a little bit about NFTs and what the value in NFTs are, and then we can talk about the virtual real estate aspect. So, floor is yours.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So yeah, the first thing would be to actually clarify what an NFT is. So for me, an NFT is a digital asset that we can actually use to represent ownership of unique things, unique items. In that regard, you can tokenize art, you can tokenize collectibles, real estate, or virtual real estate, like we do. But we will get into that later. Now, in crypto we have like two types of assets, right? We have the fungible assets, which is and which act as a currency. So you can put it this way: $1 bill can always be replaced by another $1 bill, or one Bitcoin can always be replaced by another Bitcoin. So that's the fungibility. And then we have the non-fungible tokens, so to say. So these are tokens that are unique and that cannot really be replaced by any other tokens. And talking about fungibility, it's more of an economic term, which it's used to describe things that are not interchangeable, right? So you have a table, a glass, a song, a file. You cannot exchange that. So that's what makes them non-fungible. So that's pretty much an overview of what NFTs are.
Yeah, yeah. Concert ticket, baseball card.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, I was trying to explain, my to my parents about the metaverse, and they're like, "Well, doesn't that just kind of promote a lazy culture? People going into their metaverses all the time and their VR." And because I was trying to explain to them the concept of blockchain, VR games, and worlds. I mean, how would you explain what that is to somebody who is so far removed from it that yeah. I mean, I know Ready Player One, the movie, kind of does a little bit, but it dramatizes it to an extreme amount. But
Yeah, definitely. Well, I mean, the thing is, I think as people spend more time online, and you saw it like with the COVID-19 restrictions that we had last year, right?
yeah.
People started like spending much more time in not virtual spaces, but on social media and stuff, right? So
Yep.
for me, it's a very abstract concept because it's something that will happen in the next couple of years. It's
Okay.
not something that we are already experiencing. So maybe explaining it to, I also tried to explain it to my dad, and he's like, all right, that's sounds a little crazy, but I mean, the thing is, as I said, as people spend more and more time online, they will start living their lives like in a more digital way, to put
Yeah.
it that way. I mean, we saw it last year with the lockdowns, that the meetings had to be done online. You gotta go to, you couldn't go to school, so you had to do everything online as well. And people spend lots of time playing games online, right? Like
Yeah.
if you see, I don't know if you follow Call of Duty, but Call of Duty had a great year last year because they have that Warzone platform where people just like get in a lobby of 150 people and just start fighting until the last team wins, right?
Yeah.
So from that, like you had, and I played it as well, to be honest, and you start to like developing a sort of, you start socializing in a
Yeah.
new way, right? Because you have like your team, and these are people that you always see, that they pretty much meet every day, right? Because if you
Mm-hmm.
play a lot, you will spend lots of time with them, so it adds like a new social layer, right?
Yep.
So imagine you're playing a game like Fortnite or Call of Duty, and you go into this world, and while you go into this world, you can start interacting not only with other players but also with brands and with companies, right? So, say you are playing Grand Theft Auto, for instance. You go into the world, then see an Apple store. Go into the store, take a look at the things that are in there. Maybe you're interested in a new iPhone and you can buy it through it, right? And
Okay.
that's the good thing about these virtual worlds, right? Because you can, due to, I mean, they're saved, they're pretty much in the blockchain, so you can pretty much confirm the ownership of things, right? So if you have an Apple store in that virtual world, you can make sure that you can, as a user, which is linked to a wallet, can go into the store, get an iPhone and that could even be delivered to your house, right? So
Yeah.
just to from a high level overview of what the metaverse is and what virtual worlds are, it's a new web of shared virtual spaces that are always online, open, and actually unlock new kinds of economies.
Open
That's
to
that's
everybody, correct? Yeah, anybody can jump in. No, fee associated with downloading the game or anything like that. Yeah, okay. Yeah, and I know what you're
absolutely.
saying about the whole idea about people spending more time indoors because of the lockdown. I mean, this is the time when Robinhood picked up a lot of steam, and when suddenly all these people got into crypto, into stock trading, and the Wall Street bets happened. And it's been incredible to see the interest in suddenly in virtual assets and online assets, and the stock market, and suddenly all these crypto pros are cropping up all over the place. So yeah.
Absolutely, and I mean as I said, it's the metaverse or virtual worlds are very very disruptive because I
Yeah.
mean you create like a sort of an economy online that can actually interact with other economies and make like a whole universe of virtual spaces that are always online. That's like the key thing of this,
Mm-hmm.
right? I mean, if you play a game, you go online, you play it, you log off, and that's it.
Yeah.
That space, that microverse will stay static.
Yes.
But the cool thing about these virtual worlds is that they actually always develop, right? So it's not only that you go in, do your stuff, and log off. They will always evolve
Mm-hmm.
and keep developing. So that's super crazy, and I think that will scale um, in a very big way.
Yeah, and it's open source, right? Anybody can do it, completely democratic.
Yeah,
Okay.
absolutely.
Yeah, and then so now we're kind of moving on a little bit towards the assets within that metaverse, which is leading into the MetaGameHub DAO. But let's talk a little bit about this virtual real estate, what the value is in it, and who's buying it, and how is the land and the NFTs valued within this space?
Correct. So the first thing that has to be clear here is that virtual land is actually their non-fungible token. So the investment in virtual real estate occurs through the purchase and exchange of those NFTs, right? So that's the first thing. Now, if we talk about the value of virtual land, we need to talk about the value of NFTs, right? I think we
Okay.
clarified the concept of what an NFT is, but we didn't really talk about the value of
Okay.
NFTs. So for me, I think we need to go back to the beginning of the internet, right? So the internet allowed people to actually transfer information in a seamless way, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then we had the birth of Bitcoin, which brought us the internet of value where people can or could actually transfer value in a trustless and transparent way. So that was
Mm-hmm.
like the next step. And then with the NFTs and pretty much with Ethereum, which is programmable money, we solved the need to actually replicate properties of physical assets that we couldn't do before, right? So properties such as scarcity, uniqueness, or the proof of ownership. And I think those are the three key aspects
Mm-hmm.
on why NFTs are valuable. So taking the conversation to virtual land and who's buying it and why is, I mean, the first reason is, of course, this scarcity aspect, which is very big. I mean, we have different virtual worlds. There are a bunch of them: the Sandbox, Decentraland, Somnium Space, Axie Infinity, and
Mm-hmm.
they have like their own worlds, right? And those worlds are scarce because they have, I mean, like every resource, they just have a limited amount of lands. And when they develop these games, they just determine, okay, we're going to have 1,000 or 100,000 plots or parcels, and that's it. So that's like the scarcity aspect. The second thing is high demand, right? I mean, and that's also due to the pandemic that we're going through. People were sitting at home and we're thinking, I'm going to spend lots of time online. I might just start getting exposure to some digital assets. Started buying NFTs such as CryptoPunks, and you saw what happened to
Oh yeah,
that.
yeah.
And
Christie's auction, you can't find one under $50,000.
absolutely, it's crazy. And I mean, I mean, CryptoPunks is another story which is more linked to culture and like
Mm-hmm.
this meme culture that is really present in the current market. But regarding real estate, is of course you have a very big demand for this, and people see the potential of like being a first mover and like front running the opportunity of these virtual worlds, because not so many people are very interested in that, and not so many people see like the possibilities that you have with these virtual worlds, right? That
Mm-hmm.
you can actually monetize them, that you can actually create whatever you want to create in them, and that you get people to actually earn money from that.
Yeah.
So many people don't see that, but I mean, if you look at the land at the primary sales for virtual land, you will see that they went up around 4,000% within 1 year.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
it's sick.
Yeah. Yeah. Decentraland as well is selling real estate for insane amounts, and I've been researching a lot through MetaGameHub DAO, the My Reality DAO, and the Sandbox.
Yeah,
So let's talk a little bit about Sandbox. I know one of the members, one of the co-founders, Quok, sorry,
yeah.
yes, he's one of the creators of Sandbox, and Sandbox is one of these worlds in the metaverse that has created yeah, here, I'll let you talk about it a little bit about Sandbox and about
Sure.
MetaGameHub DAO's association with it.
Definitely. So yeah, Quack is one of the creators at the Sandbox. He has his own development studio in Norway, which is called My Reality. And My Reality will it's actually focused in the Sandbox universe, which is a community-driven virtual world where players have actually the opportunity to build and monetize their gaming experiences on the Ethereum blockchain, right? So the one of the main goals of the sandbox is actually to overcome those current limitations that we were talking about of the gaming market, right? That it's centralized, we have these microeconomies, and they want to expand that so people actually can profit from it. Quack has this development studio, and they mainly focus on the sandbox. So they have the way the sandbox works is it has three main products. One of them is the Vox Edit, which is like a voxel 3D voxel modeling package for your computer. So you pretty much can create NFTs and collectibles, and they will pretty much put it in the game and mint them on chain. So that's one thing which is super interesting, because then you can, I mean, it's super easy to create. I don't know if you've looked at it, but it's like plug and play.
Actually, I have it up
Then they
on the
have the same.
Sandbox on the screen right now, kind of going through it as you're talking about it. So,
Okay, nice, nice. Then they have the Sandbox NFT marketplace, which allows people to actually upload and publish those NFT creations that they make with the Vox edit. So they add like this economic aspect of that. So they don't really need to go to OpenSea, which is one of the most famous marketplaces for this. They can just do it in that Sandbox marketplace and exchange those NFT creations. And this is like the greatest product that they have, is the Sandbox Game Maker. So that maker allows anyone to build like 3D games for free, right? So I mean, you don't
yeah.
need coding, you don't need anything. You just get into that game maker, and you can create landscapes, you can create everything. So those are the three products. But Quok and his development team, they took it to the next step. So they can, I need to send you some pictures of what they've created. They use the same, I mean, engine, to put it that way, but
Uh
they
huh.
really make awesome landscapes. So I mean, things that you cannot just create in a couple of hours. I mean,
Wow. Yeah.
it's really. I'm gonna send you some pictures of that. Maybe you've seen them if you've went
Yeah, I
to
mean,
the
I
page
was
of
just
my.
going through the website here, and I pulled up the Sandbox Marketplace, the Vox Edit, the Game Maker. I mean, it's all just right there and easy to navigate to. I know some of these websites for metaverses are a little sticky to get through, but all this is laid
Yeah.
out very simply. I pulled up really quickly some of these plots of land for sale on open seas, and I mean, I see some of this land is it's expensive already at this point. It's the value is so high, so it's a so wow.
Yeah, it's. I mean, they that land prices have been going up like crazy in the last couple
Yeah,
of months.
one
So
of the
it's
cheapest I could find was
but it's still
0.99
very. I
Ethereum.
mean, the Sandbox.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you own virtual land actually,
No,
Camilo?
no, I don't have any land on any of the metaverse platforms, but I've been eyeballing it. So yeah, the Sandbox looks like it could be a good option. I mean, I see there's Atari on here, Care Bears. I don't know if you know of any of the other partners, but yeah.
Yeah, Roller Coaster Tycoon, the Winklevoss brothers with their exchange are there. Binance bought lots of land.
Wow.
So I mean, they really see the potential of blockchain and gaming, and I mean, if those players are interested in buying lots of lands, they know that they're going to be super expensive in the future, right?
Yeah,
Um,
as I was saying about the Theta platform, you have partners like Samsung and Google and LG and Sony jumping on board. It's serious business. Not these companies that are not fly by night operations are investing in this, and this is kind of what I'm seeing with Sandbox as well. So,
Absolutely.
what about expansion to other platforms with the MetaGameHub DAO? Is that anywhere near
So
inside?
I think we should talk about the Meta Game Hub DAO
Yes.
first,
Yeah.
and
Okay.
then talk about the.
Yeah. Sorry about
I haven't
that.
really.
Yeah.
No, all good. But I think since this topic is so abstract, it's always good to make this like background before
Yes.
you start talking about the project, right? And I think this is perfect because we went through NFTs, virtual worlds, and now I can actually talk about what we are
Yes.
doing. Now, the Meta Game Hub DAO is a DAO that allows people in the community to collaboratively manage NFTs, right? The metaverse is our main focus, of course, but we want to actually be very holistic in that sense, and want to create accessibility and transparent accessibility to the NFT world in general, right? And I mean, virtual lands are NFTs, but there are many other NFTs out there. Now, when we started this project, we saw a big problem, which is the lack of valuation methods for NFTs. That's one of the main problems. I mean, there's lots of subjectivity linked to that, right? I mean, how can you actually determine or say that a CryptoPunk is worth, I mean, $30,000? I think that's the floor price right now. And
Yeah.
what's the fundament for that? And nobody really has a tool or to actually determine that. Now,
Uh huh.
with MGH, we want to generate accessibility, and we're going to do it. There are two sides of this. One of them is, of course, the management, the collaborative management of NFTs. So we're gonna own land as a DAO, and people will decide what to do with that land. That's why Quark is also very important in this, because they, in my reality, is a development team. So if, for instance, the community says, okay, we're gonna create a museum, or we're gonna make a game in this and that land, my reality will be the perfect partner to actually develop that, right? Because I
Okay.
mean, it's not, we don't really have the means. Well, I mean, we don't really have probably the time to actually start developing that. So that's why we have my reality as a partner in that sense. So that collaborative management of land and NFTs is the one side, but then the accessibility to that is also like one of our main points here. So we want to do that through the implementation of NFT pools. And the way it's going to work is through an AI price oracle. So we want to pretty much let the people or NFT holders come to those pools and stake them. And an NFT price oracle will actually go through the APIs of different marketplaces and maybe some social media networks, gather that information, cluster it, and come up with a valuation for the specific asset that is being put in that pool. People will get an offer for that price, and they will choose to take it or not, and stake it in that pool, right? So as an NFT holder, you will be able to stake your NFTs and pretty much generate some rewards out of that, because you're also going, I mean, you're getting you're into a pool, and that's also a risk that you have to take. So you have to be rewarded for that. So you
Mm-hmm.
put your NFT in that pool, get that yield, to put it that way. But if you're not an NFT holder and you're like, okay, so I'm looking at these land prices, and I think it's a little bit too expensive for me. I don't really want to spend so much on a virtual land. You can just go to the virtual land pool and get exposure to that pool. The way you can do it is through NPTs, which are NFT pool tokens. So the way it works is people will, or NFT holders will have their NFTs in that pool, and there will be NFT pool tokens which will replicate the value of the NFTs on that pool. So you will not have ownership, direct ownership of the NFTs in the pool, but you will have so to say like a derivative that tracks the value of those NFTs. So you have exposure to that.
Okay.
That's the one thing, and you can do that through the NFT pool token. So you pretty much have two ways on how to participate in this metaverse, the way we portray it. So you either own MGH, which is our governance token, and in that way you will get the rights to actually manage different pools and the assets that the DAO has, or just as a regular user, you can get exposure to the NFT world through those NFT pools. Those are like the two aspects of MGH.
Okay, so yeah, the synthetic has been a whole new concept for me since I've gotten into the crypto space of learning how to understand what a synthetic is, and that it is something that is pegged to the value of something else that represents that. So that's how you can get exposure to it. And I see a lot of people getting into the crypto space wanting to not necessarily, get full exposure to the volatility of it, but to have some exposure through the synthetic. So that's what you're saying the NPT token is, correct?
The NPT.
Yeah. Okay.
That's a way to do it. Now, I mean, that's it's gonna work. It will be the NFTs in the pool will be like a basket, right? And they will have a value that will, I mean, actually be determined by this NFT price oracle, and people will get exposure to that through those NPTs, which are the synthetic replica of the NFTs in the pool.
Okay.
Which a pretty interesting concept. Haven't really seen it much in terms of NFTs. So I think that's where we are front running the opportunity.
Yeah, I mean, this is the first I've seen of this particular type. I've seen people try to do some other things with NFTs, like bundle them up and NFT entire portfolios and being able to pass portfolios back and forth that way, but nothing directly with land ownership in the metaverse and stuff like that. So this is definitely a novel concept. How can somebody get the NPTs and the MGH tokens?
So NGH token right now we have an early membership phase. We have 3 launch pools that are available to the public, but they will close in the next 2 days, I guess.
Okay, I have this up on the screen now.
It's the next 2 days. Yeah, correct. So we have pretty much 3 pools. One of them is the early pool, which has a fixed price of 6 cents. We already went, by the way, through the first funding stage, which was a private sale, and did very well in that regard. But now we want to give the community the opportunity to actually take part of this project. So yeah, we have the early pool, which has a fixed price of 6 cents. You just go there and with USDT, you put your USDT in the pool, and then depending on how much USD you put there, you will get the tokens in return after the pools are closed. Then we have the basic pool, right, which is a little different than the early pool. It has a minimum price of 6 cents and a max price of 8 cents, and it depends how many people got into the pool. But right now, it hasn't really got much traction because, I mean, it's normal. Unless the basic pool is full, then there is no incentive for people to actually get in at a higher price, right?
Yeah.
And then we have the third one, which is a very interesting pool, which is the unlimited pool. So the unlimited pool is solely depending on supply and demand. So depending on how many people invest, you will get a different price. And so far, I think we've raised about $45,000. That's the last time I checked. And the price is about $0.015. So it's even cheaper than during the private sale. So it's super, super cheap. And that would be the most interesting pool if somebody is willing to invest at this point.
Yeah, I see you're pretty much right on the money. It's at $46,767.09 right now at 1.5 cents. So it's a really good bargain compared to the 6 cents. But you're right about the basic pool. If the early pool's open and it's open for almost 2 more days, that'd be the one you would want to jump in before the basic pool. But yeah, it's I mean, I guess you could jump in all three, but yeah, you have pretty clear instructions on how to participate, connecting your MetaMask wallet, just making sure you have Tether in there. And it was a pretty easy thing for me to do. I just put some Tether in my MetaMask wallet, made sure it was available, unlocked my wallet, signed it, and then put how much I wanted to send over, and then yeah, so it's a pretty cut and dry transaction. So and
Absolutely. And one of the cool things about these pools, or like an added perk that we have, is if you participate in those pools, each pool we will actually and this is another aspect that we really want to push with our DAO. We want to make sure that we look for many collaborations as we can with artists, with game developers, with creators, to actually foster the development of the NFT world.
yeah.
So we not only want to generate accessibility to it, but we also want to allow people to actually get to know NFTs, artists to actually start putting their art into NFTs. And this is an initiative that we're going to push with the pools at the same time. So we have a series of NFTs. Those are 10 unique NFTs that we created with one of our community members called Ash. And we're going to be giving out 3 of those NFTs for the people that are investing in the pool. So each pool will be assigned to one NFT, and one person will be able to win one of those NFTs. And the idea is, since we're going to be opening these pools every 2 months, that every 2 months we have a different artist and a different NFT that is being raffled, to put it that way.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah, I'm looking for the NFTs. I mean, I could share my screen if you want, but or you can
Yeah,
share your screen. Feel free to. But I was looking for those
they should be there. You didn't find them, or
on the DApp space or on the
um,
MetaGameHub website.
I think no. You should go to the Telegram group, and there will be a link for that.
Oh,
Wait, let
okay.
me
Let me see.
just like, so you can.
Yeah, I
I
did
don't
see
really
the
have them
NFTs though.
here.
They look pretty cool.
Wait, I'm gonna send you a link for that. Wait,
Okay.
you can open it up. There you go.
Ta-da! All right. Let's see here. All right. So let's open up this link. On OpenSea.
Exactly. So OpenSea is the biggest marketplace for NFTs right now. That's, by the way, one of the marketplaces where we're going to go to actually get the information for our NFT price oracle. They have a very simple API, and you can download all the information from there, which is
Yeah.
very,
OpenSea
very
is
practical.
great. Yeah, I have a couple test NFTs up on OpenSea just to kind of learn the mechanics of it. But yeah, it's a great way to buy stuff. So these are really cool. Yeah, all the floating
Yeah.
figures. Yeah.
Yeah, we have like this spatial theme, right?
Yeah.
So they go in line with that. So
Nice.
yeah, you might be the lucky winner. Who knows, man?
Wow, that's awesome. Okay, well, we're a little over 30 minutes. I try to keep the show to 30 minutes, but yeah,
Oh,
this is really cool. This is why I do this show, to discover really cool stuff, and this really stuck out to me as something that I hadn't really seen anybody else doing, and completely unique. So yeah. I really appreciate this
nice.
project and what you guys are bringing to the space, and I appreciate your time too. I know you're a very busy guy, and you have a lot of people wanting to know about this, and you chose to let me know about it, so very much appreciated.
Absolutely. No, and I took a look at your videos, and I really like them a lot. I
Oh,
mean,
thank
it's
you.
pretty cool.
All
So
right.
so my pleasure. My pleasure, John.
Yeah. All right. Well, that being said, you have a good rest of your day. I know you're about 8 hours in front of me, so do your deal and have a good day. And I will get on with my day and get on to work. So,
Nice.
yeah.
Nice. You too, John. Maybe see you soon.
Yes,
I'll
sir.
be happy to jump on
All right.
another.
Hey, you're welcome anytime. Seriously, yeah. Just keep in contact with Telegram, and then we'll see about future stuff. So.
Awesome.
All right.
Awesome, man. Thank
right.
you very much.
All right.
Have a good one, all right?
All right. Take care.
Bye.
Well, that was awesome. That was amazing. Yes, whenever you get on to interviews, you never know what to expect. And then whenever it goes well, then you're just, yeah. So MetaGameHub DAO, take a look for yourself. It's MetaGameHub.io, and they have their Twitter space as well. I just thought it was a pretty unique project when I saw it, and I thought it'd be worth a gander. And I'm really happy that they gave me the time of day in order to take a look. So, all right, I will talk to you guys tomorrow. All right, bye.